Hello Internet, welcome to the Freestyle. I'm Scott.
And I'm Clint.
And this week we're talking about Sin City.
Jerks. They should have shot me in the head, and enough times to make sure.
There is no sin without justice. Tagline to Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Mickey Rourke, Josh Brolin, and Jessica Alba.
And the story of this follows Joseph Gordon-Levitt, a guy who never loses as he plays the highest stakes game of his life.
Does really cool fucking coin/card tricks too.
Yeah. Josh Brolin, who is roped back into the plot of his old ex-girlfriend.
She bangs him and he can't resist her.
Yeah. And the third story is Jessica Alba mustering up the courage she needs to get revenge for her dead boyfriend slash father figure. Hard again.
She's going full emo, cutting herself and shit.
Yeah.
And then there's also Mickey Rourke, doing his Marv thing, which is pretty much everybody's favorite.
Drinking, punching, murdering, forgetting that he did all that.
He's got a condition. Alright, so this is the part where we're talking about things that we liked, and for me, it was Eva Green's titties pretty much through the entire Josh Brolin story. She wore clothes like maybe twice,
and some of those were pretty much just like see-through clothes anyway.
One of those times it was see-through anyways, so it's pretty great. And the whole art style of Sin City, it's the same as the first one. I've always enjoyed it, and this one felt like it was a little more streamlined. Like they cut some of the side bullshit and just talking, and it was a lot of action. It was a lot. I really dug it.
Yeah. And for me, our only real remaining big bad guy from the first movie, Senator Rourke.
Right.
I think he only has one scene in the first movie where he is talking to Hardigan over at the hospital, but I don't think you really see him much else throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And this one is pretty much he's the other than the Dame to Kill For storyline, he's the villain for two other storylines.
He's fucking scary too.
Yeah, he chewing up the scenery. He definitely was not someone you fucked with.
Yeah, that part where fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt jumped out the window. He's came out of the
darkness.
Yeah,
he's blah!
That shit was scary.
Also, the whole Dame to Kill For storyline was it was definitely probably one of the stronger storylines. Even though I surprisingly liked the JGL one a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was really good in this movie.
Yeah. And for dislikes, for me, there was a lot of parts where usually Sin City is a pretty hard place, but there are parts where it seemed the henchmen guys weren't even trying.
They're some pretty shitty henchmen.
Yeah,
just fucking fodder, basically.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, the Marv stuff I can kind of get away with it. It's kind of like a fucking giant juggernaut, slash Terminator and whatnot. But there'll be parts where Miho is just running from dudes that are shooting her. It doesn't even look like she's trying to dodge. It doesn't even look like they're trying to hit her.
Yeah, there was one specific shot where they showed her for a couple seconds running away from some dudes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just kind of robbed of some tension and stuff.
I mean, she's skinny. They were running on slanted roofs. Maybe they're just super shitty.
Yeah, and for me, I can't help comparing it to the first movie, and I thought the first movie for me, I thought was a lot tighter, and it felt I don't know, that one felt like I was being taken to this world, whereas this one felt like a little bit of a lighter version of it, despite it being one of my favorite City stories.
Yeah, it's definitely shorter.
Yeah, and I feel like it was mainly that Jessica Alba one was kind of a little lacking.
Yeah, that's why I thought that one was a little weird too. It's they just tacked it on.
Yeah, I felt like it started good because I mean, almost it was the first time for a movie that has a shit ton of girls in it. Anyway, it was oh yeah, that's right. No, girl's been a main monologuing to my sole character in any of these stories until the very end. But then she only gets a couple scenes where she's monologuing and shit, and it's mostly just her just am I gonna kill this guy? Am I not? I guess so.
Yeah, her story was probably the one. But Marv's in it killing a bunch of people, so it's makes it a lot better.
One of those biker guys just showed up. It was we're here to wreck this bar for no reason. It's just oh good, because I know why you're here, because I needed your guns.
Looks like Christmas.
And also, I mean, it was probably just me putting this little expectation of the movie, but there's spoilers, but there's a part in the movie where, or in the Dame to Kill For storyline, where Dwight gets plastic surgery and shit.
Josh Brolin's character.
Yeah, and I thought they were gonna, since the first Sin City movie, the Dwight storyline takes place after, like, the events of this one.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a prequel.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be, Dwight getting the plastic surgery from Josh Brolin into
Clive Owen,
and
yeah.
whatnot. Instead, it kind of got this like,
Yeah,
not so
they
great.
put his hair down. He started driving the red car around. You could tell he was trying to be Clive Owen. I'd say that's probably like my only dislike too. Was that? I mean, what the fuck is Clive Owen doing? Like, seriously, that he couldn't be in this.
Yeah.
All right, this part where we're gonna talk about our favorite scenes in the movie. And for me, something I always wanted to happen in the first one that didn't, because Marv died before Manute really showed up, was you finally get to see them fight, and it's just two fucking tanks punching each other, basically. It's pretty tight.
Like, that whole sequence from just, like, when they, like, bust into the place, it's probably one of the more badass parts.
Yeah.
Fucking Dwight and Marv teaming up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then Dwight gets fucked up and shot a bunch of times. And then fucking you just see Marv running over after the fight. And he's got fucking Manute's hat on and shit. And just picks that bitch up and then steals his car. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Dwight's just pulling out in the back and Marv's just driving that car. He's like, man, this is a sweet car. I beat up that guy, took his hat.
They only made like 12 of these.
Well, for me, it was also a Marv scene.
Right.
It was the opening part is pretty much Marv waking up in like a car accident with some dead dudes being like, man, how the fuck did I get here?
Yeah, it's like there's two cars stacked on top of each other, dead bodies everywhere, and he's just like, what the fuck?
It's like, oh yeah, that's right, I was stopping bomb burn-ins and stuff like that. And then there's like that cool sequence where he's just like throwing out hand signals or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, to his old friends.
Yeah, and they're just like killing him off screen and shit. Like he just does like it's like, oh yeah, I know you're gonna pay, and then just like puts a hand across his throat and a fucking noose comes out of nowhere and hangs that dude.
Alright, well, that brings us to the end of the review where we try and rate this thing. We do it in 1 through 5. I'm gonna give it a 4. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed everything. The acting, the art, the music. I'd say if you really enjoyed the first one, then you'll definitely enjoy this one. What would you say?
I'm gonna give it a 3. Like you said, if you're a fan of Sin City, then you're probably gonna like this movie. If you're not, or at least to me, I think I don't know if there's like a whole bunch there for you.
Yeah, if you're trying to get somebody new in, you should probably show them the first one first.
Yeah,
and then this one.
Well, I feel like with the Sin City movie, you kind of gotta be along for that ride.
Yeah, definitely. I guess that does it for Movie Review Friday. Yeah. Other than that, I'm Scott.
And I'm Clint.
And, do all that stuff where there's buttons you can click underneath this, and then, like, sometimes you can click stuff and then, like, type messages to me, and sometimes I'll answer back. I'll answer back every time I'm lying. But, yeah, have a good day.
Bye.
I'll use both hands like a bitch. Oh, you already stopped it from recording?